as a kid, I used to think, man, this dude is like awesome, man. It was my hero. I actually dressed up like the Lone Ranger, you know what I'm saying? And life was sweet. You know, I don't know how many of you guys, when you were younger, playing Cowboys and Indians, man. It was like dope, man. We was playing around the hood and everything. It was pretty dope, man. But all the while, I didn't know. I had no idea. And dude, I'm almost ashamed to say this. I didn't know until recently that the Lone Ranger, they say, could have been inspired by a black man. Enter Bass Reeves. Okay, so back in the 1800s, right? Back in the 1800s, Bass Reeves, which that wasn't his name at first, Bass, of course, but you know, when you belong to a slave owner, which he was born a slave, he assumed the last name of his owner, and he was known to be a water boy, a stable hand or something like that. I think he worked the fields, but of course he became a companion to his master, so they gave him access to the house and, you know, eating better food than the rest of the slaves. Now, they don't really depict anything about his childhood too much, but let's fast forward to George.
Which is his master's son, right? You guys know about the Civil War, right? Well,
He had been George Reeves' companion, right? And he learned how to shoot, he learned how to do all this stuff, right? And then this thing came where slaves are free now. But before that happened, during the Civil War, they said it was they was playing a card game. George and Bass was playing, doing cards or whatever. I don't know if it was spades. I don't know what it was, man. But I just imagine it was spades because they got to fight. And Bass put the smack down, beat him down, took off. He was out of there, right? And he fled to Oklahoma, Indian territory. Now, story has it that while he was in Indian territory, there were 5 tribes across Oklahoma, right? And he literally learned their languages, like how to speak it fluently. He learned the land. They taught him how to hunt, fish, everything. He learned all their traditions. So he had a nice span of his life where he was there, but then found out, hey, look, black folks are free now. So, and that means any slave that that escaped, they good to go. So what he do? He goes back to Arkansas, starts a family. Now here comes the good part. There was a guy by the name of James Fagan, right? James was deputized to go out and find U.S. Marshals. He was like, I need marshals. I need deputized marshals that can help us take back the West. We need to do something. He heard about Bass Reeves. Now, mind you, Bass Reeves learned how to fight and shoot like during the Civil War, right? And then he gets with the Indians, so he know how to track and all this other stuff, right? He knows the law of the land and the lay of the land. And the crazy thing is, he said, hey, I heard about you, Reeves. You know how to speak their language, and we need to take back this territory. So, the first black man to ever be a deputized marshal, okay? All right, so we got that going for him. Now, his education, he knew how to speak the language, but like he didn't have like a vast education like that. So he would play dumb as a U.S. Marshal, right? He would play dumb with his enemies. Now, they say this dude stood like 6'2", right? Had this big mustache, big handlebar mustache. They said, man, it's like 250 pounds or whatever. But if you read through his story, this dude would, like, to me, would come off like Batman. You know, like Batman didn't have a superpower, but he was smart. He was a great detective, and he was strong. He beat you down. And they said, stories are saying that there was a time where a horse got stuck in mud. And they were trying to get this horse out of the mud. There were like 4 or 5 other people trying to get this horse out of this mud. They said this dude single-handedly helped this horse get out. So he said he was superhuman strong. This is like, if you go back and do the research and find some of those papers from the late 1800s, they talked about him as if like he was the boogeyman. So let's jump off into what he done. Now, he wore Stetson, right? He had the cowboy boots and spurs and whatnot. He had 245s that gotcha, you know what I'm saying? and they said he was pretty good with a rifle. So let's just say this. I'm gonna tell you what his track record was. They said over his career, which was he did 35 years of he dang near single-handedly like cleaned up the West. Just, hey, I'm gonna just take all these bad guys, scrub them from existence. But he didn't, like, they said he killed like 14, but he brought in over 3,000 people, brought them back to justice. Now, the other thing is, he rode a white horse. He rode what they call a posse. And one of his sidekicks was a Native American, an Indian. It kind of sound familiar, right? He was also a master of disguise. They said he would dress up like a hobo or just like a bandit. He would act like he was a bandit. And they say it was one story where he was going to get these two guys, and he walked 28 miles to get to her house, and said he shot a hole in his head and looked all bummy. He was like, look, man, I'm running from the law, man. I need somewhere to lay low. All right, bet, come on in. So she come in, let him sit there, he chilling. Two sons come back, they whistle, and she whistle back, like coast clear, they come in there. This dude in there chilling, waiting for them to go to sleep. They said, and when they was asleep, put cuffs on them, woke up in the morning like, yo, gotcha, let's go. Walked him back, and he's collecting bounty. You know what I'm saying? And he never, based on what look, legend, it's not even legend, this was reported, he never took damage. He'd never been shot. He had one of his buttons was shot off or something like that. I guess a hole in the hat, but he never got shot. Tell me that's not like superhuman type stuff, man. But here's a crazy part. When he was in Arkansas, he had raised a family for a good point. He had 11 kids, wife and kids. The dude was doing everything. This man even arrested his own son. But they said he never showed fear. He never showed any emotion. And there was one thing he said, the law ain't perfect, but this is all we got. There was even times where there was a white sheriff that like criticized him, like, yo, I don't like how you handling those white prisoners. And I'm like, as I'm reading this, y'all, I'm like, wait. They committed crimes, right? Why are you giving this man static? And another white guy had to come in and kind of say today, because Reeves is about to be in for it. But 9 times out of 10, Reeves probably would have killed him if he had to. Please go back, look at the story of Bass Reeves, because this dude was nothing to play with. You hear what I'm saying? He was the epitome of justice. He was for real. You know what I'm saying? As far as a police officer is concerned, he was the epitome of like righteousness. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that. So today, my superhero, who I want to celebrate and I'm excited about, which there is a comic book at Walmart. I think there's 4 series. I'm going out and I'm going to buy the comic book. I found this out. There is a movie I think was made about him in 2016. Now, I'll leave you with this. There was a lot of criticism. They said, hey, why isn't this story known? Why do we still know about the Lone Ranger? And why haven't we really dug into Bass Reeves? And it keeps coming up. It's not my words. Go look it up from 4 sources I found on Google as well as YouTube. They said because he was a black man. And here's the crazy thing. The people that he had arrested and tried, they were tried in Detroit. Lone Ranger was created in Detroit. So, take that for what it is. Know this, and I'm not trying to pick on Mr. Freeman. Morgan Freeman had made a statement. If he wouldn't have said it, I wouldn't even mention it. But he stated that, you know, he was going to make a movie about Bass Reeves, but it never came out. I wonder why. I don't know. Hey, somebody, I don't care who, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, I don't know, somebody. Let's make a movie about Bass Reeves. I don't care who make it. Let's make a story about Bass Reeves, man. Let's put that man's name up there, man. Let's Google. I'm actually going to put that hashtag Bass Reeves, you feel me? That's going down. That's all I'm going to put in there, Bass Reeves hashtag. I'm putting like 10 of them things in there. So that's my story for the day. That's my hero, man. Stay tuned, man, because Black Panther's coming up next. Y'all be blessed.